In the heart of an ancient kingdom, where the mountains touched the clouds and the rivers sang in silver tongues, there stood a kingdom built on courage and steel. Its ruler, King Erata, was a man whose sword had carved peace from chaos, whose shield had turned back 1,000 enemies. His people loved him for his strength, yet feared him for his unyielding will. But more precious than his crown, more treasured than his armies, was his only child, Princess Serenia. Born on a night when the moon bled red over the battlefield, the midwife claimed she was destined for greatness. The king, holding the newborn in his arms, whispered, "You are my blade and my heart." The daughter of the sword. From her earliest days, Serenia walked the training grounds instead of palace gardens. She sparred with veteran knights before she could lift a full blade, and her laughter rang loud when she bested them with speed over strength. Her mother, Queen Elira, worried for her gentle spirit, but the king said, "The world is not gentle. She must be as steel wrapped in silk." One fateful summer, when the sun hung heavy in the sky and the air shimmered with heat, dark tidings came from the borders. A monstrous serpent, scales like molten bronze, wings that blotted out the sun, had risen from the deep mountains. It devoured cattle, crushed villages, and left nothing but ash and bones in its path. The king summoned his war council. The greatest knights stepped forward, their armor gleaming, their oaths fierce. Yet one by one they returned broken or not at all. The serpent's fire melted steel, its claws shredded shields like parchment. Then, to the shock of the court, Princess Serenia rose from her seat. "Father, let me go. Let the daughter of the sword prove her worth." Gasps filled the hall. The queen's face went pale. "No," she pleaded, clutching her daughter's arm. "This is not a battle for you." But Serenia's eyes burned with determination. "If I am truly your heir, father, then I must stand where others have fallen." The king hesitated. He had raised her to be fearless, yet the thought of losing her gnawed at his soul. At last, with a voice like stone breaking, he said, "Then take my sword. The blade that has ended wars. Let it be your hand when your own strength falters." Riding into the mountains on a black steed, Serenia's armor gleamed under the sun. She passed villages cloaked in smoke, faces staring at her with a mixture of hope and dread. She found the serpent at dusk, its massive form curled atop the ruins of a watchtower. The air stank of sulfur, and the ground trembled with each breath it took. With a battle cry that echoed off the cliffs, she charged. The serpent's eyes snapped open, glowing like twin furnaces. Its roar split the air. Fire poured from its jaws, but Serenia rode from her saddle, leaping clear as her horse was consumed in flame. She struck, her father's sword biting deep into one wing. The beast screamed in fury, thrashing against her. But she was not quick enough. A swipe of its tail sent her crashing into the rocks. Dazed, bleeding, she staggered to her feet only to see the serpent vanish into the misty peaks, leaving behind a trail of molten footprints. Refusing to return in defeat, Serenia tracked the serpent for days. She followed its scorched trail to the mouth of a cavern vast and dark, its entrance rimmed with blackened stone. She stepped inside, her sword ready, her breath steady despite the cold dread curling in her gut. The cave walls glistened with veins of crystal, catching the light of her torch in eerie flashes. Piles of treasure, gold coins, jeweled goblets, and crowns lay scattered like fallen leaves. But amidst the riches were bones, hundreds of them, from soldiers, villagers, and even kings. From the shadows, the serpent's voice rumbled, not in roars but in words. "Daughter of the sword, I have waited for you." Her grip tightened. "Then face me." The beast stepped into the torchlight, its eyes pools of molten gold. "Do you not wonder why you fight? Why your people send their young to die?" She spat at its words. "I fight because you bring death." It smiled, a terrifying, fun-filled grin. "And what of your father? Did he not bring death to gain his crown?" The words struck her like a hidden blade. Memories of whispered rumors, of conquered lands, of villages burned in the name of unity, clawed at her mind. But she pushed them aside. I fight for my people. Then fight, it hissed. The battle inside the cave was like thunder trapped in stone. Steel rang against scale, fire met blade. The serpent's tail shattered pillars of rock, sending echoes into the depths. Serenia struck again and again, her father's sword glowing white-hot from the beast's fire. At last, with a final desperate leap, she drove the blade into the serpent's chest. It roared, the cavern shaking as its great body collapsed. When Serenia emerged from the mountains, she carried the serpent's horn as proof. The people hailed her as the greatest warrior the kingdom had ever known. The king embraced her, pride shining in his eyes. But deep inside, Serenia could not forget the beast's words. That night, in her chambers, she stared at the sword, its steel still faintly warm, and wondered if her father's wars had sown the seeds of the serpent's wrath. The legend says that years later, when King Erata passed and Serenia became queen, she swore never to wage war except in defense. The sword remained at her side, but she kept it sheathed more often than drawn. Some say the serpent spirit still watches from the mountains, waiting for the day when the daughter of the sword forgets her promise.